Hi, this is Tisha with Firehouse Design, and we are celebrating 25 years in business this year. And I've been meaning to get around to making some videos to help educate on some graphic design principles for at least 10 of those years. So I thought now would be a good time to get started. So we're going to talk today about vectored files and what that means. We'll start in Illustrator looking at a logo that is built as a vectored file. Vectored files are unique because they are actually mathematical equations. Instead of this logo being made out of dots, you'll see that it is made out of points and lines. You can see the points on the ends, the lines in between, and those are drawn with a pen tool like this. And they can also be curved lines. They don't have to be straight. This looks a whole lot like sine and cosine mathematical equations. I'm sure you remember those from math classes. And so you can make curved lines and straight lines and connect all of these into some very advanced shapes. And what's great about a vectored logo is no matter how large you increase the size of those shapes. So let's grab just this logo here. And we're going to start blowing it up. You will not lose quality. Because it's a mathematical equation, the equation just gets larger. You're not losing quality. So you could go as large as a billboard, as large as a house, doesn't matter. The equation expands and everything is nice and clean. You still have dots, the points and the lines in between, but you have nice, clean, smooth lines because this is a vectored logo. Now, vectored logos are often exported to other file types because a lot of people can't work with a vectored logo. For instance, if you're in Microsoft Word, you can't open this vectored logo, which is generally saved as an EPS or an Adobe Illustrator AI file. You could place it in your Word document, but you wouldn't be able to open the native file and edit it like I'm doing now. Because the only program that's going to do that for you is Adobe Illustrator. So that's why they're oftentimes exported into other file types that people are a little more familiar with, such as JPEGs or PNGs. The key, though, is you have to start with the vectored file and export to those other file types to get nice, clean files. It does not work the opposite way. You cannot start with a JPEG, let's say in Photoshop, and save it as an EPS. That doesn't make it automatically a vectored file. It has to be built as a vectored file. So a lot of times we'll get files from customers who say, well, I saved it as an EPS. So when you're in Photoshop and you have a logo, this logo looks identical to the other one, but here's the difference. This one's made out of dots because it's in Photoshop. So when I blow this one up, suddenly you can see that the lines are jagged. You can start to see all the pixels. As the bigger I get, as soon as this thing starts to get billboard size, it's very grainy, full of dots. All of these dots make up this logo. So you will lose quality as that gets larger and larger. If you save this file as an EPS, it's still a rastered file. It does not magically become vectored. So it's important that you understand that you start with the Illustrator file that is drawn vectored and you export from there. So if you need a logo that is vectored, if you've never had one and you've run into this request before, quite often everyone from t-shirts to embroidery to newspapers, magazines, promotional product companies, they'll all want vectored files. Give us a call if you have a question about that, and we can help you get a vectored logo produced.